Hello and welcome to another installation of TechTalk. The boys are back. No, not really.
Yes, we are. I'm here. You're here.
We're back.
What? We're here.
We're here.
What are you
Okay.
talking about?
All right.
Was that the actual intro we're running with?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, the topic today, guys, cost of doing business. Prices seem to be going up on everything at the moment. I'm sure everyone's feeling it both at home and in business as well. So I guess discussion, guys, what are some of the things to look out for? I guess I always consider things like, diesel and things like that. I think a lot of things you don't consider. I always imagine it as I'm a shopkeeper. That is a product on the shelf that I sell. So if that product price, being diesel to run my generator or car, if that product price goes up, then I have to put my price up for that product to be able to sell it and make a profit on it, or at least sell it for the same price as what it's gone up by, so I don't lose money. So that can be, things like diesel or labor, cost of labor or cost of tooling or anything like that. It might not be something you can physically see or touch, but I imagine it as a product on the shelf that I'm going to sell. That's how I always try and think of things, to put it in a bit of more of a black and white sort of term. But what do you guys reckon? What are your thoughts?
That's a good one, Mike.
Very much so. I guess key word you use there, business and running the business. You constantly, as business owners in this industry, we've got to keep a finger on the pulse to make sure that everything is ticking over. I think in this industry in particular, we're a bit guilty of just working in the business without going through our profits and loss on a common occurrence, to make sure we're on the right trajectory or setting the right goals, because like you said, Mike, everything around us seems to be going up. And what are we doing about it to make sure that our business is surviving in the future? So I think a good topic to be talking about right now.
I feel it's very applicable in the times we're living in, and looking at all the costs and things. And obviously we want to still continually getting projects back into our schedule so we can obviously still deliver them on time, but also be delivering a great product that still has got a good price point. And that what I mean, like, we want to keep the price up, and this is not the time to drop the prices. So I'm guessing, how can we become more efficient to keep that price up there? Because we're going to be seeing, because we see this all the time, where just people just think, because it's the time where people starting to pull back on money and building and things, because everything has gone up. What are the things that we can do as concrete polishers, or what can they do to actually save money? When I say save money, but also still deliver on time and make money.
I mean, I suppose what I was saying about being really regimented, like I was just thinking about it when you guys are saying, like, things like insurance on the car, that's a box on the shelf, that's a cost. Training for staff, that's a product on the shelf, that's a cost. Once a month lunch for the guys, that's a product on the shelf. You can be really, as you're saying, Dan, like really regimented and really down to the last dollar to know exactly what your cost is to what's going to equal your meter rate, if you like. And at least that way you can start taking boxes off the shelf if you need to, or rearranging things as you need. And as you say, Dan, in that way, at least you're not guessing at the end of the day, that you know what your exact cost is. That if you do need to be, at the pointy end, as you say these days, really at the pointy end to know what's achievable to do when you're quoting or to win a job or something like that. You're not you're not winning a job and kicking the dust and thinking, oops, a daisy, I hope I'm all right on that one. For a fact you are, I guess. What about yourself, Josh? What are your thoughts?
I think, there's some commercial realities to this. We've got the whole rising costs across the board in what we're doing. And on the other side, we see building or construction companies going down in flames because, they can't afford to finish projects. Costs have gone through the roof. And I think there's going to be pressures here and there. There's things that we can control, and there's things that we can't control. We've got to do as much as we can to control the ones that we can. There's going to be an area where you can say, look, these are a certain type of client that want nothing but a particular type of finish, and they will pay to have that. There's going to be the continuation of clients that just won't sacrifice the finish of the project. The difficulty for what we do is in particularly in commercial and that sort of stuff is we are finishing that project right at the end of the project. This is where all the money is dried up right now.
Yeah, right.
So we also need to be realistic about expectations. What it is that we can do for our customers for what they've got left, what they want to spend on the floor. We can't sit there and go, oh, I'm really sorry to hear your sad story. I'll do this one here for nothing. Because guess what? We're going to see a lot of that for the next 12 months.
You won't be there to do the next one.
That's right. So we simply just have to say, all right, this is what you've got in your budget, and this is why it's just so fundamentally critical to understand what your numbers are. And good thing to be having this conversation this time of year, because it's just come at the end of tax time. People are probably a bit more familiar with how they performed. Really good to know what those numbers are, so you can say, well, this is the finish that you can have for this type of budget. So it also means that when it comes to knowing what we can provide for a particular budget, we've also got to have a couple of different products. A lot of us are really guilty of just, hey man, all I do is really, high, deep exposure, really high gloss, or I do surface polish with a satin finish. We're going to have to broaden our product offerings so that we can actually meet the budget requirements of our clients, because there's going to be changes in their budgets. They've got pressures too. And we can't just say, well, this is what it costs. If you don't like it, walk away, because that's not adapting to the current market needs. As much as we're feeling the pressures ourselves, we still need to remain a working business, and we've got to pay bills too. So in order for us to survive, as you've heard, we've got to adapt. So these are the current market conditions. We can't just ignore them, because we won't fix the problem. We have to adapt to them, come up with different products, get really, really sharp on improving our efficiency across our group, so that we can deliver on projects faster. Less time on site means that we've got to pay less outgoings as far as that is concerned. That reduces the cost significantly, and then we can meet the requirements of our clients. And I think that they're probably the two main areas that I would be focusing on if I was a contractor right now, getting absolutely clear about what my numbers are, what types of inputs actually affect those costs, how we protect them, and then how we can bundle them up into different products or different opportunities for our clients that just simply don't have the budget at this end of the project, and then focus my marketing on clients that don't have these restrictions.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, then you've got your portfolio to sort of match what you're quoting and things like that, just to really back up their expectations and things like that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think a very important message you just mentioned, Josh, is to work to the budget. Don't sell your premium product for a discount. Work to that budget, because when we make it through this phase, I guess you can call it, at the other end, all of a sudden your premium product is being devalued. So very important to work to the budget, and not just for the sake of, I like glossy floors. That's not what the client is after. They're after a certain floor for that budget. So very important what you mentioned, Josh.
And the broader your product offering, the more professional you're going to look, and it all sort of, put a positive spin on it.
Oh yeah, and if I could recommend anything more, it would be, if you haven't done 2 or 3 sales training courses in the last 2 or 3 years, I would definitely get into some sales training courses, so that you know actually how to sell your products through in these times.
I reckon I've been out on site a lot of times, end up talking sales with our customers, with my customers, and when I say talking sales, it's not saying do this, do that. Like, we bounce off each other. We go, well, have you thought of this? We thought, oh, well, that's good, and then I'll get ideas from them, and it's interesting. It is certainly a big part of it, isn't it?
And as you know, Mike, a really big part of the sale is not coming out with a catalog and trying to sell something. It's actually hearing what the clients are telling you, so that you can hear, not in the budget, or this is what we want. It's actually being able to understand what their needs are, identify them, and provide a product that's going to be suitable to what their needs are, or where they're at. a lot of people think sales is just about, ramping up the income because you're going out there and hitting the streets and knocking more people over the head with what you've got to sell. But not necessarily the case. It's really about how to deal with it. That's right, for a good reason, no?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing you got to put in consideration, because yes, the prices are $2.40 for a liter of fuel. Just imagine if it goes up to $3 or $4 a liter, right? We just don't know. Well, and I think doing a bit of a restructure in thinking, how can we sell this product or can make it still make a good option, because we don't want to obviously lower our prices. We got to look at our catalog. What are we offering to our customers, and how can we adjust that to suit that current market? And like Milan said, just you got to try to keep those prices, those premium products up there, and not go down.
Look, the reality is, and the great thing is, I guess, is that prices are increasing for everything across the board. So it's not like we're the only industry that's got an increase in costs. It's across the board. So everything has gone up. So it's bear that in mind as well. That if you're in a conversation with a client and they're saying, well, that's just really expensive now. You increase your prices. Well, it is across the board. Anything else that they look at as an alternative has also incurred a significant increase. So bear that in mind. We're not the only industry, and you're not the only trade that's going to be getting pressure on them for this.
Put some glitter to it. I mean, the rising price and cost of things is certainly one aspect, but put some sizzle to the steak and make sure you've got your fancy names for your different levels of work. So you've got your premium product, but then you've got your super great product and your great product, and you've got to put some bit of razzle dazzle to it all, absolutely, and back yourself up with a good portfolio, and you can show people exactly what they're getting and that sort of thing, and put a bit of razzle dazzle to it, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not all
doom and gloom though.
No, that's right.
Not all doom and gloom.
I'd rather be a concrete polisher right now than something like a plumber, for argument's sake. I mean, Mike, your background is in a major plumbing reseller. These guys right now would be feeling it because they're all kind of paying the same price for all of the materials, and they've all got to kind of pay the same kind of money for their labour. What do they got? There's nothing really that they can adjust, tweak, or change. But when it comes to the concrete polishing, like we said, we can make adjustments here, there, and everywhere to try and match some budgets.
You've got that point of difference, absolutely.
Yeah, good time to be in the game.
So my question is, what are you gonna call your floors? I call mine bougie floors.
Mike's magic something, I don't know. Mike's juicy floors.
I was just going to say, there is some positivity in us. Like I said before, it's not all doom and gloom. I was having this conversation with a customer yesterday that, as Australians, particularly in the domestic sector, if our expendable income becomes less, we're less likely to go out to dinners and things like that. But as Australians, we're all house proud. So we're more likely to still invest in our house or where we live, So I feel like there's still going to be a decent economy around the, concrete polishing industry. So it's...
I agree.
You heard it here first. Milan is proposing a self-inflicted lockdown, everyone. That's...
So works plus lockdown, yep.
That's right.
Good one, guys.
Yeah.
I liked it. Enjoyed. Thanks.
I'd go and have a beer right now, but they keep going up. I can't afford it.
Hey, Mark, really? That's interesting. Where I'm from, my beers keep coming down.
So, what I gathered from this whole talk is become quick at what you do and keep the quality up and keep the prices up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Otherwise, you won't be out of beer at the end of the week. Right, Mike?
Yeah, the old clean skin bucket of Dan Murphy's looking real good at the moment.
But, all right, gents.
All right, guys.
All right. See you, boys.
Hope you have a great weekend. See you next week.
Keep up the good work, guys.
Absolutely, guys.